Hey guys, how are you? It's Danny. Today I'm going to show you how to create this cranberry eye tutorial using Sigma Beauty's newly launched collection with the Warm Neutrals palette. So this palette is actually a reinvented version of the original Warm Neutrals, but it has a few new shades and also a new formula. So here is a beautiful palette. I love these tones. And also the collection does have a new brush set called the Signature Brush Set that has 2 new brushes. I'm really bummed because I actually did speak throughout this whole tutorial and then realized after my audio cut out, so that's cool. First I'm going to apply foundation with my Lift and Luminate foundation, and here I'm just talking about how much I loved this foundation in high school, and I kind of just came across it again. So I'm using the F81 Blend Kabuki brush. This is a new brush. I really loved how this blended out my foundation really nice and evenly, really easy to maneuver around your eyebrows and nose area. And then also I'm going back and just putting on a little bit more foundation in areas that I feel like I need a little bit more coverage. Love this foundation because it really leaves your skin with a nice kind of satin dewy finish, but it's really long wearing. So buff that in, and now I'm going to apply a little bit of concealer. This is my Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm blending this in with a soft blend brush. When you're doing a really warm eye and using berries or red tones, it's really important to have a really nice clean area around your eye. Make sure any discoloration is covered up. This really helps so it doesn't make your eyes look any more irritated than they can be already, which mine tend to get that way. So I'm just setting underneath my eye and then also adding my bronzer. This is my go-to bronzer. Love, love, love it. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of blush. This is from the Rose Glow Cheek Duo. Adding the Quarter Rosa shade, which is my favorite blush shade. It's a really pretty kind of deep peach color tone, and I feel like it looks so good when you do a warm eye. It really pulls everything together. And then adding the highlighter that comes in the palette as well. That's so amazing. Alright, now I am prepping the eye with a little bit of my Suede eyeshadow base primer, getting it nice and ready for those eyeshadows. So the palette does come with a dual-ended brush. You have the E38 on one side and the E54 on the other. So I'm going to go in with the shade Toasty first and use this as my transition shade. And we're just going to apply this in the crease and really warm that area up. So like I always say, you really want to build these colors up. They're very pigmented, so go light-handed, and you can always add more, but build in layers. That's how you're going to get the color payoff and also the longevity. Then with the E35 taper brush that comes in the brush set, I'm going to take this and just run this over the edges to help blend everything out and make it look nice and diffused. Just keep blending away, making sure everything is nice and seamless. Then I'm going to go in with this shade called Chiles with the E31 domed pencil brush. And I'm going to start tapping this on under the outer corner of my eye and also into the crease of my eye. So I'm kind of tapping it to just put the placement down, see where I want the color, and then I'm going to go in and get everything blended out. So just patting away, then going back in with that E38 diffused crease, going to start to buff that out, make sure I have everything nice and blended. So as you can see, I'm leaving this area alone. It doesn't matter if it's kind of an empty space right now because we'll fill that in, so you don't need to worry about that part just yet. Then I'm going in with the shade Amaranth, which is such a beautiful cranberry shimmery shade, and I'm packing that on my E55 shading brush. See how it's nice and flat? You can really pack on that color and give it the most color payoff possible with a brush like this. So I'm patting that all over my lid. Starting kind of at the center of my lid, working my way out towards the eye and to my inner corner. And also just popping a little bit on my finger and pressing on top. I love using my fingers with shadows. I feel like you can really get great color payoff. So here I'm just saying I have a little bit of follow-up, but it's not that big of a deal. If you have a great shadow that, you know, may tend to have some fallout, but majority is sticking on your eyelid, that's great. Doesn't mean that it's a bad shadow at all. When you should be concerned is when you have a major fallout, but nothing staying on your eye. That is not a good eyeshadow. So sometimes those extremely pigmented shadows will have fallout, and they should be easy enough to just swipe away with a big fluffy brush, which I'm going to do right now. If you are concerned about fallout, definitely do your eyes first and your base afterwards. That's what I do on other people, but as far as myself goes, I just tend to do my face first before my eyes. Now I'm just blending everything together. Then I'm taking the other end of that dual-ended brush into the shade Beaming, which is right next to Amaranth. I'm going to place that on the inner portion of my eye, kind of in the inner corner, blending a little bit upwards just to help catch the light a little bit, give it a little bit of contrast. Then going back in with Amaranth, I'm going in to that with my E31 domed pencil and running that on my lower lash line, just blending that out. So pretty. As you can see, my eyes definitely do look a little bit irritated and red, but we're going to run some product on my waterline that will help with the redness. So I'm going and putting that shade Beaming on my lower lash line as well, and curling my lashes and getting into my mascara. This is the first time using this mascara. This is the Tarte Maneater. I got it for sale at Ulta, so I had to try it, and I was quite impressed. I did a couple coats, and I felt like they really gave my lashes some great volume, but kept them really nice and separated. And I didn't have any transfer issues, which sometimes I get that a lot with new mascaras. Throughout the day, I really feel like they transfer to my lower lashes and end up being pretty messy. So now I'm taking that Suede eyeshadow base primer and running that along my waterline just to help with that redness and neutralize that. And time for lips. I'm taking the liquid lipstick shade in Cashmere. So there are two liquid lipsticks in this collection. You have Cashmere and Suede. So Cashmere is a little bit more of a warmer tone nude, and I wanted to cool it down just a little bit. I felt like it was a little bit too warm for the eyes, so I took the other shade Suede and kind of just mixed that into Cashmere, and I felt like it really kind of cooled down the look a little bit. And I love the shade. It definitely gives me those 90s vibes, which I love. And that is it. That is the complete look. I love how this turned out. I love these colors, especially on my eyes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.